How did a young Italian photographer, armed only with a camera, an eye for detail, and burning curiosity, come to unravel one of the great national shames of Argentina? It all began in 2003, when Chiraudo was in Buenos Aires working on a project about the disappeared. He heard about the death flights in the 1970s, but the stories were never fully told. So many unanswered questions and so little accountability. If there were flights, he reasoned, then surely there were planes and there were pilots. So where were they? You knew those death flights existed. How did you start your search for the planes?
I had an idea, but to start the investigation started with Miriam.
Miriam is Miriam Lewin. She was a young student activist in 1977 when she was kidnapped, tortured, and sexually abused. She was then taken to ESMA and was among the few who survived, though she never knew quite why. Later, she became a leading investigative journalist in Argentina, best known for unearthing the crimes of the dictatorship. When Chiraudo first contacted Miriam, she told him she had other things on her mind.
And I said, look, we were looking for the desaparecidos, the missing people, and then we started looking for the bodies. So we have plenty to think about.
People, not things.
Yeah. And he said, I come from a different culture. In Rome, when they're digging a tunnel to extend the subway lines, they find a plate or a sculpture, and they stop everything for like 3 years, right?
He comes from a culture where objects are witnesses to history, and that hadn't occurred to anyone here.
Yeah.
Giancarlo's passion paired with Miriam's reporting chops and her own experience at ESMA. She'd seen other prisoners taken to the basement and given what they were told was a vaccine. Only years later did she learn that it was a sedative, and that those drugged prisoners were put on board planes, flown over the ocean, stripped of their clothes before being flung to their deaths.